Electric plants have some of the coolest elemental power-ups in the whole game. And with that, I've decided to see if you can beat Plants vs Zombies 2 only using electric plants. And don't forget to subscribe for more videos like this, and it costs nothing and you can always change your mind. So let's get straight to it. Starting off a brand new game can bring a lot of problems, but to solve that, we're going to have 3 main phases. And you might be like, well, what do you mean by phases? Let's start with number 1. So starting off, we can only use electric elemental things, including power-ups, despite the title saying only plants. And number 2, we can only keep our plants at level 1, except for the mandatory level 2 peashooter at the start of the game. And finally, have some fun. So let's get straight to it. Hold on. Look at this lineup. We've a walnut peashooter, cabbage pult, and a flipping potato man. Not a single electric plant. And it's mandatory to spend money. These challenges, it's mandatory. I know some of you say get some modded APKs and all that. No, I want to spend my money. So let's go purchase some electric plants. You want to see me buy all the electric plants in the game? Get this video to 1,500 likes. I'll buy them all with my money. My bank's not going like that one. So starting off number 1, probably the coolest plant in the whole lineup for the starting trio, if you want to call that, is going to be the electric peashooter. Okay, this is by far the most expensive one, with a sunk cost of 200, a recharge of 5 seconds, a toughness of a solid 300 damage, which is not that bad, and a damage of about 20. Starting off at level 1, which again we cannot level up, and obviously being an electric peashooter. Okay, number 2, we have a controversial one, but I think he looks really cool and he's electric. He's going to be the electric current, and he costs 150 sun with a recharge of 10 seconds, a damage of 50, and you're going to see my issue with him later on in the video. I'm not going to spoil it too early. And third, we have electric banana guy. Okay, let's get straight to it. Nah, electric banana. Sun cost 125, recharge of 15 seconds, toughness of 300, damage of a low 30, but damage on water 65, so kind of makes up, and a damage of using it with a plant food over 1,000. So that's why I picked these out, and you're gonna see I do add more in the later video, so later on in the video, so just make sure you get that far, and you can see that's not the only ones I add now, but there's a bit of spice to switch up the gameplay halfway through the video. So let's actually start off now. Welcome to ancient Egypt. So you've probably seen that we're starting out on day 8, and you can see me just selecting some characters now, because this is the first day in ancient Egypt that we can actually select some of our electrical plants, which we're not going to show you the filler episodes, especially like the tutorial. You've probably just seen in the background come leading into this video so far, but we're going to skip that for now and move on to here. And day 8 is the first day where we get to actually select some of our characters. We had some pre-placed plants, so we just quickly removed them, and we don't have the sun return just yet, so that's going to be a bit of a challenge. For the later levels, before right now, is actually quite fine. And we can see that obviously the sunflower is not an electrical plant, so we're not going to be able to use it, just to make the challenge a bit tougher. And put then the electrical banana peel guy, and I really mean this guy had no clout. He was doing no damage and he instantly got murdered. So I was like, I'm cooked. So now I put down the electric current, and he did absolutely none. I did not know how to use these characters, and I was fried, so I just called my last short, reset the level, and went back to the good old handy electrical peashooter. And I totally forgot how the electric peashooter worked, and it just shoots through him and does like splash damage in like 3 lanes, the lane above, bottom. So it was really handy, especially without using a sunflower. So I was like, oh, this is kind of good. I don't need 200 sun per lane, because I don't think I'm gonna get 1,000 sun via the sun drop. But we still lost a lot more because it's such an expensive plant, especially at day 8 in ancient Egypt. But you can't really lose in ancient Egypt, so we did quite well. And I realized I might have cooked myself. I bought some of the worst electric plants you can get, especially starting out and having no clue how to play this game. But then I remembered this is a challenge to see if you can beat Plants vs Zombies only using only electric plants. So I locked in and used plant food. Next level. Okay, day 9. I finally understood what the electric peashooter could do, so I had a plan. I placed one electric peashooter in lane 2, and I placed the second one when I saved up enough on lane 4. Because let's do the calculations, it hits all lanes, so we will be absolutely fine for it doing it. But the only problem is that once there's no zombies in lane 4 or 2, or there's no tombstones, it won't be shooting, so we are cooked if that happens. So hopefully the plant food will come to save us, but that's future us problem. But for right now, it was actually quite nice and easy, until I wasted one of my plant foods on this electrical current. Absolutely nothing happened. I don't know if I was missing out, so I decided to put a second one down, and I was like, okay, he's gonna do something crazy. and it did nothing. I don't know if I was missing something, but I was like, yeah, I'm never using this guy again from this point forward. And this is the exact moment I realized I wasted my money. This electric current did nothing. It's going to be an electric peashooter carry till the end. Anyways, let's move on. Disappointing, man. I'm feeling a bit speedy, a bit Sonic-y, if you get my drift. But let's move on to day 10, where nothing really interesting happened. We had a couple of cool placements for the electric peashooter, and by that I mean we just put them in row 2 and 4 like always, and we kind of just spread through this level because nothing really crazy happened at day 10 in ancient Egypt. But we did lose a lawnmower, so I guess that was something interesting. But other than that, we just put another electric peashooter in the place that we lost the electric peashooter, and I put one in the middle, and then that was our day 10, so we can just move on. Day 11, we didn't have any electrical plants that we could use to beat the level. As you can see, we just used peashooters and sunflowers because we couldn't select any electric plants. We could use the power up. I tried, we lost. So we had to beat it with this because I only had a certain amount of coins, okay? So I was not spending more money on more coins. So maybe we'll run it back, but right now, I'm good. Day 12 of ancient Egypt, nothing too special either. We just used the plants that I actually like, being the electric peashooter, and you might see for the rest of ancient Egypt, peashooter might be the only one I use. That's because, first of all, you see the banana, he just did no damage whatsoever. I was like, okay, for 125, I wasn't expecting something too crazy, but damn, he really does no damage. And then the electric current, I actually don't think he does any damage. I actually don't know how to use him, so maybe if I'm just using him, I might be using him terribly. I might be bugging, but he was trash. But the electric peashooter, oh my god, look at this. He's doing hella damage. He's attacking all the lanes, only 2 of them. So I really do mess with him. So he's the only one that I like. And we did see a new zombie pull up, the Pharaoh zombie in the tombstone. A bit tougher than a buckethead, but nothing too crazy. Right here, I was like, you know what? Let me give the banana peel an extra chance of success. I was like, okay, he can kill, not a buckethead, a cone head. First of all, he gets violated, and then I lose a lawnmower. So I was already snapping. I was like, you know, it's that it. He did do a lot of damage to the zombie behind it, but damn, I really just lost 2 lawnmowers because these electric plants are trash. Anyways, day 13 brought us a new gimmick level where we couldn't place on these weird slime creatures. They looked very ugly, but nevertheless, we continued on with our adventure of trying to use these mediocre electric plants other than the electric peashooter to defeat this. And I thought I was cooked because, first of all, the electric peashooter, as good as it is out of the 3 that I bought, he is not that crazy with damage. So I really thought that we might be cooked because those two tiles that the green slime take up that we can't plant on might cook us because they won't be able to kill the cone heads, or God forbid the tomb zombie that comes out, or anything crazy. So I was like, oh, we're cooked. But we actually did quite well. I was placing down 2 electric peashooters near enough to the start of the level so we could attack all lanes minimum, so that was happy enough. And we did have some tile camel zombies come out that were kind of worrisome because, you know, they're tile zombies and there's sometimes a good few of them, but we actually dealt with them quite well. And the whole level went a lot better than I thought it would. I thought this level might be a bit of difficulty, mainly because the 2 tiles for that we had to place the electric peashooters that might allow the zombies to catch up and eat them, and then get our lawnmowers in at the final wave, will just die from the zombies all pushing at once. But we actually destroyed this level, so let's just move on because nothing crazy happened to hate. We're just gonna fully skip day 14 because that was a filler episode. Day 15, you can see there's 3 endangered sunflower plants that we're allowed to use because they're endangered and we have to keep them alive. And this level, we just had such an influx of sun that we actually got to properly test out all the plants that we had accumulated. And I really got to differentiate the terrible from the bad. Because, you know, that's what I wanted to do with the banana peel and the electric current. Still, no clue what I was doing with them. Absolutely no clue. But we tried them out. And I even added a good few electric currents just to really see what I was doing with them. I placed down 3. And I can promise you, they did not improve the amount of damage they did, if they even did damage, or anything about that. I don't know what the point of this plant is if it's not doing anything. And matter of fact, I was nearly cooked if I didn't have to use this plant food. So I don't know what they do. The banana peel has no range. It's useless. So I messed up with my picks. I really did. I don't think I'll ever use these plants again, except for an electric peashooter, because I'm pretty sure he's pretty good. So I'll keep on using him. But for the rest of them, I don't know. But the banana peel, when he does attack, does look like it does go crazy, but it just doesn't do enough damage, except for the plant food, which you just saw. It just violates everyone. Damn, that's one strong attack. And I kind of just finished the level up after that with a electric peashooter plant food, just to finish it up. So summary of that level: these plants suck. Day 18 was a plan your defense level. You already know how I feel about these levels. they are absolutely so fun to do because you just put down your best plant and they go absolutely insane. I just want to show you the amount of damage that these electric pea shooters will do when you have this much of them. It really just put me onto electric pea shooter. I think this might be my favorite plant. It might be my favorite plant. Just look at the way it attacks, goes through every single zombie in the lane. Oh, okay, enough for the glaze. Okay, next level. Day 19 was very similar to day 13 if you remembered. These ugly slime guys make a return. Okay, on day 19, they try to start out the level a bit different. They made the first zombie come out on lane 1, so he would only attack, my electric pea shooter will only attack lane 1 and 2. And if I put down another one in lane 4, I would be able to attack all of them, but it just doesn't maximize the amount of damage it does, especially to the middle row with the lane 2 and 4 overlapping there. So if there's any zombies in the middle row, they just do double the amount of damage they normally would. But other than that, I was like, oh, I could be cooked. If a zombie comes in lane 2, which it instantly did the second I said that, of course. We have 50 sun, zombies coming out in lanes that we don't even have. So the only thing we could do right now is start to spend some coins. On plant food, we didn't use it for the electrical power up. I know that would have been really fitting for this challenge, is only using electrical things. But look, sometimes you gotta keep it for the big bad guys, okay? The bosses, the gargantuars, the villains of this game. And we had another power up, thankfully, from just a zombie just spawning it down, and we finished off our level by putting him down. And he didn't really attack the buckethead like that. I thought I was cooked because that is not far enough for the buckethead to be dealt with. So the only way we could deal with him is by being absolutely cooked. I don't know what I was thinking. My brain logged off. I didn't do anything, and we lost. Oh my, I'm actually so bad. Okay, now running it back and the exact same buckethead in the exact same final wave being there, we somehow still had a lot more there. Thankfully this time I'm not going back to the whole level again. And we finally bet day 19. For no reason. We could have ended it there if I just used the power up. But my brain just logged off and I didn't do nothing. I lost. Okay, day 20. Okay, we're gonna completely skip day 20 because that was a filler episode. We did have some pre-selected plants. As you can see, we did not unlock the watermelon pult or the kernel pult. I think that's it. I don't know the names, okay guys? Allow me. Anyways, we still had the electric pea shooter, the only plant that can carry us to success. We were able to choose 3 plants, so I picked all 3 electric plants. That doesn't mean I picked all 3 electric plants. I'm so disappointed with my choice. I couldn't have picked worst ones. But anyways, we did actually deal with this tomb zombie, which I was not expecting. I was like, okay, the middle lane, we're gonna leave free. Because realistically, we're gonna lose that lawnmower, and then we're just gonna have to continue like we always do. But no, I put down one electric pea shooter, and we flipping dealt with him. After we used our plant food, obviously. I think an electric pea shooter could kill them normally. Never. They're too weak. They're not good enough, especially level 1. They might as well be rendered useless. But after that, the rest of the level kind of just fell after that. Quite a decent enough level, none too challenging. Yeah, so we can just move on. We're just gonna skip to day 23 because day 22, again, another filler level. But on day 23, there is a gargantua, and this is what I feared the whole level. I was preparing my defenses. By defenses, I mean my electric pea shooter to battle the gargantua. Because other than that, the rest of the zombies aren't too much to worry about, unless I got like a horde of flipping pharaoh and tombstone zombies. Then I'm worried. But we can just use our power-ups, or we can just use our plant food ability to get rid of them quickly. But the gargantua is a different story. This guy sometimes can take 4 plant foods and still not die. So we really have to do about that. We just have to make sure that whatever lane he comes out on, we still have a lawnmower. That was the game plan. We will not be able to defeat him, but if we can kill him via lawnmower, it's still a W. We're missing 1 lawnmower. I'm ready. Boom. There I saw him coming out. Use the plant special ability. Absolutely none. Didn't even make him throw his imp. I knew I was cooked. But thankfully, we still had the lawnmower, so we could jog our way on to day 24 without any worries. And then to the boss battle. Day 24 was the plan your defense level. I already showed you this. Absolute victory royale. Okay, day 25. Normally, I'd have a whole lead up, a boss battle, a special screen, a beautiful transition, you know, the typical Machiavelli stuff. But there's not a single electric plant that we can use to beat this. So we're just gonna speedrun this and move on to the Pirate Seas, where the game actually gets a bit more interesting and we can introduce new plants that can help a bit. So the first new plant that I want to introduce is the filament. This is a free plant, which is already good for, especially for a challenge that has restricted flipping sunfall, and it does 150 damage. That's really all for this plant. Moving on to the next one, we have the electric T, 125 sun cost, a toughness of 150, but look at that damage, 950 upon elimination. So you can see why I chose him. So let's actually move on to the pirate seas. So starting out on day 1, I instantly put down electric T just to see that 950 damage in play, and I did see it does like a 3x3 like attack damage that would look really cool, but we finally got to see the 950 attack damage be done, and it did exactly what I was expecting it to do. And then I went with the basic electric peashooter in lane 2 and 4 like always, and this is where I actually started to open my eyes to the greatness that the electrical P could be, especially in just all of the piracies that you can see. It didn't really go too crazy because we just didn't have sunflowers able to be used, but you could still see the special abilities that they do use was crazy. And then just to deal with this pirate in the middle, we're going to have to put down the filament. And yeah, this kind of just pushed us towards the end of Pirate Seas Day 1, which wasn't a bad introduction to the newer plans that we just got acquired. So our arsenal is looking pretty good. So let's move on. Day 2, there wasn't anything too special, and therefore that's I kind of just skipped towards the end. So you can just see me beating it with electric plants only. You're going to see for a lot of these earlier levels, especially from like day 1 to about 12, it was kind of the typical thing that I did as I used the electric peel. I know I said I would never use, but turned out I did enjoy using it, especially in Pirate Seas. Don't know why. I think this fall was a bit more than usual, and with the extra sunfall I was able to put down the electric banana down, which actually I kind of see him being useful a bit more slowly but surely. But for the earlier levels especially, I decided, you know what, I can't just use the 200 electric peashooter for everything. I just financially can't do that with the sun. But the sun was coming down a lot quicker, so I was a bit more happier with that. But day 3, again, one of the levels that nothing really special happened, so we can just move on. And just to group some of the less interesting levels together, so I'm not here really just wasting your time, we're going to play them all at once so you can see me beating all the days that I could beat with the electric plants only, or just electrical things, including the power up by itself, just all at once so you can see me beating them all, and then we can move on to where it gets a bit more interesting. Were you confused there too? I was too, even making that, so don't worry. Day 10 is a day where it got a bit more challenging, mainly because there was 3 lanes that weren't there anymore, and there would be a swinging zombie and also upside down seagull zombies, and my filament plant decided not to do any damage on the seagull zombie, so I don't know if that was a glitch or if it was immune. I don't know how it would be immune. I don't even think there's any immune electric plants in this game. So I don't know what was happening, but it just wasn't dealing sufficient damage to deal with it. And the pirate zombies that just swung across and skipped 4 lanes would just make it tough, especially because a lot of the electric plants I have, especially right now, they just don't do that much blunt damage. So they were just cheating their way through, and then I had to use my plant food to get rid of them. So thankfully, it was such a plant food heavy level where we just kept getting plant food. So thankfully, or we would have been cooked. But once we had all the plants down and at least one in each lane, the banana peels actually did do decent enough. Not the worst compared to how they were doing in Ancient Egypt. I thought they were rendered useless, but they did see to pick up and do a bit better in Pirate Seas. And also because the electric peashooter was overlapping damage too, so it was quite insane. And we even got to the point where we had 3 electric bananas in one lane against the Buggerhead, which still nearly got cooked, but they were doing enough damage to deal with him. So that was good, and we can move on to day 11. Day 11 was another level that was quite annoying just because the amount of lanes that were removed just so the swinging zombie, seagull zombie could all come out. And I didn't know how to defend against them, especially with the electric pea, the banana peel. Like I was saying, I didn't know how to defend against the seagull zombie, the pirate zombie, all the ones swinging across, because the electric plants, you know, they're alright plants. They're not the strongest in the game, but they do a lot of splash damage or horde controlling. So just against one plant, and you can see what I meant by the seagull zombie, they just don't do damage to this zombie. So I don't know what to do because it was quite difficult to defend against. So the only way I could go against it is using plant food or spending 800 coins to use my power up, which you're going to see me use. And you could just see with my generational fumble of the bag, I got like maybe 1 person. Okay, we take it to the face and we move on to day 12. Pause. Day 12 to day 13 were more gimmick levels that we couldn't beat because there was a coconut one and also a producer sun one, so we use sunflowers and we can only use coconut cannons in these levels. So I was gonna skip them except for day 13 because I did lose. Okay, I somehow lost the produce sun level. I suck. Day 14 was a plan your defense level. You already know how these go. Look at the amount of electric pea shooters I have, just killing everything in view. Come on now. Day 17 was a day that brought a gimmick level where we had to kill a certain amount of zombies in a certain amount of time, which I thought it was a challenge, but with the filament and just electric peashooter, and you know, all the electric plants, they do so much horde damage that you normally just kill all the zombies at once instead of one at a time like a normal peashooter would. It actually went down easier than I thought. I thought it would be a challenge, but it didn't go down that hard. Similar to one of the earlier stages, 11, I think it was, where 3 of the top lanes were removed. So the seagull zombies and also the swinging pirate zombies could just swing across and cheat their way through 4 lanes of me dealing them damage. So it did kind of become a problem, but we could deal with it because I had a bit more experience, especially with the banana peel. I knew how many lanes it took for him to kill a regular zombie, and the mistakes of me trying to see if the electric plant could kill the seagull zombie. Never did, never will, don't know why. They're just probably immune and stuff, and having a huge wave of zombies come out all at once, so our electric peashooter dealt with him and dealt with the whole crowd, pushing us on to the next day. And one thing I'll give to the Pirate Seas, they have a lot of pre-selected plant levels, gimmick levels, produce sun levels. So a lot of these levels cannot be done with a challenge. So a lot of these levels can skip through. So we're going to skip day 23, which is a whole 5 days, mainly because we can't beat these levels without using sunflowers or pre-selected plants like you're seeing right now on day 18. So let's just skip to where we actually can do the challenge. These levels absolutely stink with anything interesting happens. Obviously, we had some mushrooms where we couldn't cross. They crossed, the zombies would die. The zombies would die, we would die, and we moved on. It was that simple. Day 23, I literally only used electric peels. I know a lot of you, especially you in the back, I see you, I know you're proud of me. Electric peel is probably your favorite plant, and I finally used them by myself. No electric peashooter in this one, and yeah, it was a big step for me. Now to conquer the lead up to the final boss battle of the Pirate Seas is day 24, and would you believe day 24 was by far the hardest level, which I expect nothing less from the day before the boss battle. It should be leading you up to the final battle to end the whole world, and it really did come up to the name. I nearly cooked myself already, but sometimes you have to firm it. The seagull zombie, like usual, did his thing, taking down my lawnmowers nice and quick and early. There was nothing I could do. I tried to reset the game just to see if I did that. I realized it's not going to help. You just have to firm it at that point. After that point of losing a couple of lawnmowers, only one, we built up at least 1 plant in each lane from no sunflower, which again, I always think it's so crazy that you can actually beat this game without sunflowers at all. And I'll be struggling with sunflowers. I'm not good enough to be speaking like this, but it's true. And after this, it did become quite annoying, especially with the bouncy bean, the broad bean, whatever the official name is. I had to use the power up a couple of times, so if you see my coins just drop between levels, just know that the level before I was using the 800 coins worth power up of the electricity. We can use that because why not? It's electric. I didn't take care of the fire one in Frostbite Caves when I used the fire one challenge. And day 24 came to an end. We just had to make sure we didn't lose the endangered plant. And after this, we can move to the boss battle. You can just see, I didn't even show you how to beat the boss. I didn't even do it because something sad happened, guys. There was no electric plants. There's nothing that we could do. So obviously, I'll make a whole title screen, final boss, like I did in the other challenges when we able to do it, because I don't really want to waste your time dragging out this video as long as it has to be. So click the video on the left if you want to see the movie. If you can beat Plants vs Zombies 2 only using fire plants, make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.